Okay, y'all. So we're gonna read some Ho Chi Minh. I don't get in enough Ho Chi Minh, but this is one of my favorite pieces in Marxism. I've read before, but I want to read it again because it's not a long read. I'd like to get it recorded in audio. So this is called "The Path Which Led Me to Leninism." This is it was published in the Soviet Review, Problems of the East, on the occasion of the 90th anniversary of V.I. Lenin's birthday, April 1960. So let's go ahead and get into this. This is the path which led me to Leninism. This is Ho Chi Minh kind of talking about his life and, what, how he found, socialism in France. After World War I made my living in Paris, now as a retoucher at a photographer's, now as painter of, quote, Chinese antiquities, end quote, made in France. I would distribute leaflets denouncing the crimes committed by the French colonialists in Vietnam. At that time, I supported the October Revolution, only instinctively, not yet grasping all its historic importance. I loved and admired Lenin because he was a great patriot who liberated his compatriots. Until then, I had read none of his books. The reason for my joining the French Socialist Party was that these ladies and gentlemen, as I called my comrades at that moment, had shown their sympathy towards me, towards the struggle of the oppressed peoples. But I understood neither what was a party, a trade union, nor what was socialism, nor communism. Heated discussions were then taking place in the branches of the Socialist Party about the question whether the Socialist Party should remain in the Second International, should a Second and a Half International be founded, or should the Socialist Party join Lenin's Third International. I attended the meetings regularly, twice or thrice a week, and attentively listened to the discussion. First, I could not understand thoroughly why were the discussions so heated. Either with the Second and a Half, or Third International, the revolution could be waged. What was the use of arguing then? As for the First International, what had become of it? What I wanted to know, and this precisely was not debated in the meetings, was which international sides with the peoples of colonial countries? I raised this question, the most important in my opinion, in a meeting. Some comrades answered, it is the Third, not the Second International. And a comrade gave me Lenin's thesis on the national and colonial questions, published by Leninism, to read. There were political terms difficult to understand in this thesis, but by dint of reading it again and again, finally I could grasp the main part of it. What emotion, enthusiasm, clear-sightedness, and confidence it instilled into me. I was overjoyed to tears. Though sitting alone in my room, I shouted out aloud as if addressing large crowds. Dear martyrs, compatriots, this is what we need. This is the path to our liberation. After then, I had entire confidence in Lenin and the Third International. Formerly, during the meetings of the party branch, I only listened to the discussion. I had a vague belief that all were logical and could not differentiate as to who were right and who were wrong. But from then on, I also plunged into the debates and discussed with fervor. Though I was still lacking French words to express all my thoughts, I smashed the allegations attacking Lenin and the Third International with no less vigor. My only argument was, quote, if you do not condemn colonialism, if you do not side with the colonial people, what kind of revolution are you waging? Not only did I take part in the meetings of my own party branch, but I also went to other party branches to lay down, quote, my position, end quote. Now I must tell again that comrades Marcel Katchen, Vaillant Courrier, Monsieur, and many others helped me to broaden my knowledge. Finally, at the Tours Congress, I voted with them for our joining the Third International. At first, patriotism, not yet communism, led me to have confidence in Lenin and the Third International. Step by step, along the struggle, by studying Marxism-Leninism, parallel with participation in practical activities, I gradually came upon the fact that only socialism and communism can liberate the oppressed nations and the working people throughout the world from slavery. There is a legend in our country, as well as in China, on the miraculous Book of the Wise. When facing great difficulties, one opens it and finds a way out. Leninism is not only a miraculous book of the wise, a compass for us Vietnamese revolutionaries and people, it is also the radiant sun illuminating our path to final victory, to socialism and communism. So there you have it. This is The Path Which Led Me to Leninism by Ho Chi Minh. I've been reading a lot of Lenin. You'll notice that if you get on my page, there's a lot of Lenin on there. And I find it particularly important to, just starting out with Lenin because no one had ever applied Marxism and had a full-on successful revolution like he had. And so he adds all that extra science to, Marx and Engels, which then also influenced the 20th century. And, the Soviet Union aided so much in the decolonial fight, the anti-colonial fight, from Vietnam to even like the Congo in Africa, to Mozambique, to Angola, to like Laos, and it's like these Indonesia, and these are always a lot of those were decolonized by Marxist-Leninist parties or Marxist-Leninist governments, basically taking the place of the colonial government. But even some of them were the Soviet Union aided in, because at that point it was the West and NATO and the United States and the Western countries that were giving the most to the colonization of these countries through countries like France, in Vietnam's case, France, Belgium, places like that, Denmark, the United Kingdom. So yeah, it's extremely important to know, what started the 20th century, and that is Lenin. That's Leninism. That's what Ho Chi Minh talks about here. So yeah, we all have a great day. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. Let's see, Tumblr, Medium. Follow me online. Marxist Saw. Y'all have a great day. The Lada Goi.